nílé sọ̀rọ̀ wọn ṣé get. Tàbá sọ̀rọ̀ kẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ through WhatsApp ṣé get mi nísìnyí. Okay.
Wọ́n filẹ̀ yìí sí ọwọ́ wa, ṣùgbọ́n a gbàgbé ohun tí wọ́n ń sọ. À ń jagun ara wa lójú ọ̀nà, à ń ta ìtàn wa lọ́wọ́. Bí a kò bá rántí ibi tá a ti ń bọ̀, báwo la ṣe máa mọ ibi tá a lọ? Ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn bàbá ṣì ń pè wá nínú afẹ́fẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ohùn ilẹ̀ ń ké pé má ṣe gbàgbé ẹni tí ó jẹ́. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a gbé ilẹ̀ wa ga. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a dá àṣà wa bọ̀. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a mọ ara wa dáadáa. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a pa ìtàn wa kọ́. Òrìṣà ilé ń wọ́ wá lọ́dọọdún, àwọn bàbá ń dúró dè wá. Ilẹ̀ tí a jogún kì í ṣe títà, ìran tí ń bọ̀ wá. Ọmọ Yorùbá jí kúrò nínú oorun, àkókò ti dé báyìí. Tí a bá fẹ́ ọjọ́ ọ̀la rere, a gbọ́dọ̀ rántí ara wa. Ilẹ̀ ìsọ̀rọ̀ nínú wàhálà wa, ìran wa ń pè wá padà. Ohùn nínú kébé, má ṣe gbàgbé ìtàn rẹ̀. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a gbé ilé wa ga. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a dá àṣà wa bọ̀. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a mọ
Yes.
ara wa dáadáa. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a pa ìdá wa mọ̀. Kí a bá ti lọ́kọ̀, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yóò tún rọ̀. Ohùn bàbá ń ké lọ́run, ẹ má ṣe gbàgbé ara yìí. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan.
Good evening, distinguished viewers, and welcome to Yoruba Runu World Stage. Tonight, we confront a reality that has become impossible to ignore. Insecurity is no longer a distant concern. It is shaping the present and defining the future of Nigeria. Across communities, its impact is felt in different ways, from disrupted livelihoods and declining investor confidence to rising uncertainty in everyday life. What was once seen as isolated incidents in Nigeria has evolved into a broader national challenge. But beyond the headlines and daily reports, a deeper question emerges. What does sustained and insecurity mean for the future of the country? Does it weaken institutions? Does it slow economic growth? Does it reshape how citizens relate to governance and to one another? Tonight, we move beyond surface level reactions to examine root causes, structural gaps, and long term implications. More importantly, we will ask ourselves will real strategic solutions look like and what must change in policy, coordination, and accountability to alter the current trajectory. Leading this conversation tonight is the president of TYF, Oladimi Jibolanawa, who will help us explore these issues from a strategic and forward looking perspective. This is not just a discussion about insecurity, it is a discussion about the future of Nigeria itself and how it affects our core angle, which is Yoruba land, especially. Let's engage tonight. I welcome you all to Yoruba New World stage. And my name is Abiodun Bakare. And our speaker tonight, as I've told you, is the president of Foladi Meji Bolano. Please, let's all discuss tonight. I will bring Are on to take over the stage. Are, you're welcome, please. You're muted.
I'm happy to be here and thank you so much.
Can your camera
Uh,
go up a little bit? It's cutting off your a little bit more, a little bit more. All right, thank you. You're good now.
Thank you so much, people all over the world. My name is Oladimeji Bolarawa. I am so grateful to be here. I'm the president of TYF. This evening, we'll be talking about a wonderful topic, which is insecurity, the insecurity and the future of Nigeria. Firstly, I want to thank my wonderful host, Mr. Abiodun Bakari, and all the other hosts of TYF that are here and those that could not make it to us due to health issues or maybe unforeseen force majeure or unforeseen circumstances. I also want to greet all Christian brothers that I'm greeting them. Happy Easter, and may the reason for the Easter, the blessings of Easter be upon all our families. Once again, I greet us all in the name of Olodumare. Yeah. So over to you back, the host.
Yes, thank you very much, Are. As we look tonight, we would like you to start with us on this important topic. We have seen a lot of insecurity issues in Nigeria. Okay, um, my first question to you, as you delve into the topic tonight, is how would you define the current insecurity landscape in Nigeria?
Okay. Thank you so much. Before I answer your question, to all the lovers of TYF, all lovers of Yoruba nationalism, that you are listening to us all over the world, I want to really thank you. You are the reason why this institution called Think Yoruba First organization has not sunk. You are the reason why this Think Yoruba First organization has not perished. May Olodumare continue to be with you. May Olodumare continue to bless you all. I am begging you all, share this video, share it with your friends and families, share it with your friends and families, because everybody needs to be here. And this message needs to go to the four corners of the whole world. TYF is an institution God has established for the liberation of the entire Yoruba race. It is also an institution that is meant for the liberation for all indigenous people, not just in Africa, across the world. It is an institution that we believe and we pray will shape the outcome of events in the world, especially in the multipolar world. So, no matter where you are listening today, whether on Facebook, whether on TikTok, whether on YouTube, whether on or some people are joining on our TYF Park website, you are watching live, or maybe you are on the Twitter space listening to the audio. What you can do for us, share, put it on your WhatsApp status, share with your friends and family. This is like your evening radio. This is the only place where in geopolitics, Yoruba nationalism is being preached, is being evangelized, is being propagated. So we beg you in the name of Almighty God to please help us to propagate and use your platform to propagate our news. Um, this message is for Yoruba nationalism, it's for Yoruba freedom. We beg you in God's name. The world has changed, and the Yoruba people needs to be prepared. We must be prepared for what is going to come. We must be prepared for what has happened and what is surely going to happen. So, Ejo, the question proper. So, lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. The question proper. You said the status of insecurity currently in Nigeria. What we are seeing is a slow motion decapitation of Nigeria.
Can you add the volume, Are? People are saying it's
Okay,
too low.
okay. So what we are currently witnessing
Good.
is a slow motion decapitation of Nigeria. The insecurity in Nigeria, it's beyond what people say. And what I'll be saying tonight, I'll be backing it up with a lot of uh, historical and academic backing. For instance, I'm going to talk about what is happening in the Kwara, Niger State, and Kogi axis. According to economics, human want is insatiable, but the resources are limited. The resources in the world is limited. It's who becomes the world power, who becomes superpowers, who builds empire are people who control vital resources and vital trade routes. That has always been the way of the world for the past 10,000 years. And the world is not going to change in 2026. We can see what has happened to the United Nations. The United Nations is no longer what it used to be. That powerful nations like United States of America, Russia, and China can decide not to obey what the United Nations says. It shows us some things. It shows us that not all nations are equal, and some nations are above so laws because they make the laws. It is also very important for us to also understand this thing. We must understand that we must understand how important it is for us to know that without us, without Africa or indigenous people having control over their destiny, we are surely going to be recolonized. The world is going back to factory setting, to what it used to be, not just 100 years ago, 200 years ago. And for any country to become superpowers, they must continue to have access to huge resources in order to be able to maintain their industrial machines, industrial complexes, and war industrial complexes. So where are these? Unfortunately, if you look at the world, most superpowers do not have most of the resources they need to continue to continue to maintain this superpower status. The world has changed. We are talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and we are talking about advanced weaponry, laser weaponry. Most of these advanced methods or advanced system of warfare actually needs rare earth elements, solid minerals, lithium, palladium, cobalt, coltan, many of these resources that are needed to be able to build the next supercomputers, that are needed to build the next to build the next powerful systems. So when you need all these computers, you need all these resources, you need to be able to control these resources. I'm going to give you an instance. The reason why France, Britain specifically, the United Kingdom, stopped being the superpower of the world was that they could not control the resources of their colonies anymore. Immediately after World War II, that America had to force Britain to give up its colony. America no longer became the most powerful country. United Kingdom stopped being the most powerful country on the earth, and America replaced it. So the fight for resources, who controls what? That is why the strategy of China is very, very simple. China has focused on Central Asia and Africa and Latin America in business and economic deals in order to get all the mineral resources it needs to continue to become a superpower. Now, how does this now lead to insecurity? If you look at the world, anywhere there is chaos, it is very, very difficult to extract. It is very, very difficult to manipulate. It is very, very difficult to coerce. It is very, very difficult to subjugate a people that are organized and an organized society. If you cannot destroy and you cannot colonize and destroy an organized society, you need to bring soul chaos. Now, let me give you an instance. Before the Hausa city states could fall into the hands of Fulani colonialism, there needed to be chaos. They needed to destroy those city states. Before the Yoruba city states and empires and kingdoms could be colonized by United Kingdom. Firstly, that is why the Fulanis and the British, there's something called the Dua Mandate. The Dua Mandate is where the Fulanis are not subjects of Britain. The Fulanis are partners of Britain. There's a difference between partners and the difference between subjects. The whole concept of the dual mandate of the colonialism of Nigeria was built on these fundamentals. A lot of people don't understand this. They do not even want to think about it. Like, just pause and wait a minute. The Fulanis are partners in the colonialism of Nigeria. That is why the way they behave, the way they talk, the atrocities they've committed within the space called Nigeria for over 200 years, how they get away with killings, how we get away with pogrom. The bitter truth is, the Hutus did not get away with the pogrom against the Tutsis in Rwanda. They didn't get away with it. The Hutus did not get away with it. But the Fulanis got away with the pogrom against the Igbos in the north, because the Fulanis are co-partners. They are co-partners in the Nigerian project with the British. So we are not equal under the law geopolitically within the context of Nigeria. Now, why was this so? Because the British needed somebody that will continue and ensure that Nigeria continues to supply the needed human and capital resources and mineral resources to fund and sustain the British civilization and English Anglo-Saxon civilization in Europe. So, like I was trying to say, if any place is organized, it is very difficult for anybody to be able to colonize and subjugate those places. So that is why insecurity and chaos is one of the best ways for you to be able to to subjugate and continue to exploit the people. You look at Congo, for instance. Congo supplies the world with coltan. Many of the things that is being used to make our phones, many of the things that are being used to build our plasma television, electric cars. Congo has become a dysfunctional country for over 60 years. Congo has become a dysfunctional country for over 60 years. Uganda, Rwanda, almost every of their neighbor continues to take a piece of Congo. Why? Even though Congo has over 100 million people, Congo can dare not face 2 million, 1 million Tutsis in Rwanda because it's a dysfunctional country. Rwanda, what exactly is the purpose? Is the economy of Rwanda built on? What does a Rwanda exports? Have anybody asked question? What Rwanda does is to be exporting the mineral resources that are being looted from Eastern Congo. So Congo is a good example of insecurity. The more destabilized a country is, the more it is very easy to continue to loot. So the things are going to get more and more terrible. For 40 years ago, 50 years ago, it was all about oil and gas. Now, solid minerals, lithium, and all these other gold, lithium, gold, coltan. Especially, let's talk about gold. The reason gold is extremely critical is the most valuable. Once you have gold, there are two resources that you need to have in the world that will save you and make you survive any sanction. If you have gold, you can never be sanctioned. And that's exactly why you see in Russia, why Russia has been able to survive sanctions. The gold that is being taken from Mali, the gold that is being taken from Darfur in Sudan, is what Russia has been able to use to barter to create a war economy that has been able to survive sanction. There is no country on earth that is as sanctioned as Russia and North Korea. Yet, Russia continues to function. So in fact, the economy is even growing. How is Russia doing it? Russia is doing it because Russia is sanction proof. Russia is sanction proof because Russia has gold. It has been able to take gold from Sudan, able to take gold. Also, it also produces some level of gold, and it's also been able to get gold from sub-Saharan Africa. Now, the gold coming from sub-Saharan Africa, from Mali, from Nigeria, from Sudan, is not being produced by state actors. Many of the gold mines in Nigeria, in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Central African Republic, in Sudan, is being controlled by non-state actors. When I mean non-state actors, I'm talking about political Islamist terrorist organizations. I'm talking about bandits. I'm talking about terrorists. These are the organizations, these are the groups that control these gold mines, that control these resources. And these resources, it is not being passed, it's not passing through the government. These resources is being couriered away. There have been so many situations where we know where people have said there's so many plane, private jets landing in the middle of the Sahara, landing in open air strips, where many of these raw gold have been taken out. So that is why you see, and that is what is funding the insecurity and the instability that you are seeing across West Africa. So many of these countries, many of these non-state actors, they have gold in huge quantities. They are stickingly rich. Once you have gold, you can never be poor. Once you have gold, you can never be stuck anywhere in the world. Apart from the US dollar, the only currency that you can barter with anywhere, whether in the open market and the underground market and survive, is gold. If you have a gold bar, you will never go hungry anywhere in the world. This is common sense, and the most powerful, they understand all this. The non-state actors and the state actors understand this. Even the world, the currency of the world, used to be used to be pegged with the gold standard before America was able to use the petrodollar, the biggest country on earth that produces oil and gas, crude oil, which was Saudi Arabia. And the United States of America became the global currency all of a sudden. So many of these non-state actors, like bandits, warlords, ISIS, Boko Haram, they just Al Qaeda, JNIM, ISWAP, Lakurawa, any organization, not any of these organizations. They can afford to pay their fighters. They can afford to even run. They run a proper government. They have police. They have their own Sharia council. They have Hisba police. They collect taxes. They buy cars. They maintain their fighters. They maintain. In fact, they collect taxes from farmers. They collect GCR taxes from non-Muslims. So they run a parallel government. In their mind, they run a caliphate, and they are well connected. They can import fighters from across the side, from the Arabian Peninsula, from Pakistan, from Turkey, to come and train them, experts in drone technique, how to be good for snipers. So that is why it has. We are talking about a very, very rich and very, very powerful people, a powerful group. And many of these times they battle with the powers that be. They battle with gold. So, for instance, Russia needs gold. It brings guns and ammunition. It gives them drones. I'm not trying to paint Russia, but that is what we've seen. That is what we've seen in Darfur, where United Arab Emirates, Russia are supplying both sides. They are supplying. For instance, let me also go further. The RSF, they were bandits. They were terrorist organizations that were used to terrorize indigenous black Muslim population and the Christian populations in southern Sudan. They committed crime against humanity, rape, expulsion, and destruction of people from their ancestral lands. Everything you see in the middle belt of Nigeria, everything you see in the middle belt in the northern Nigeria has been committed by Fulani militias. It's not different from what than they call them bandits. That is why the reason why we've not been able to stop this problem and our political elites and our government continues to use kid glove to treat this cancer is because many Nigerians are not educated. If I come here to start promising and start cursing the government, there will be thousands of people that will start joining this live stream and start praising me. If I curse Tinubu every day and say Tinubu is useless, Tinubu is this, Tinubu is that. But anything that is an intellectual, or I'm coming here to cause Igbos, cause this and cause that, some people are going to think this is how intellectualism or freedom fight should be. But this level of high intellectual discourse, our educational system has not trained the minds of Nigerians to be prepared to understand what we are discussing. This is why a lot of people don't actually understand what Yoruba nationalism or nationalism of any kind is. They think it's competition. It's an unfortunate situation that we find ourselves. And if we understand these fundamentals, we understand how terrible things are, we understand the situation of things, we understand what needs to be done, we understand that we are already in Sudan, then we are surely going to know that we don't need to be emotional, we need to organize ourselves. If you look at, like I said, in Sudan, the people you call RSF today were bandits that were given guns and ammunition by the central government in Sudan to fight quote unquote secessionists because they saw the black Muslims in Sudan as a threat to the Arabization of Sudan because the black Muslims took up arms in Darfur to fight against the racism by people who say it is Islam first, but they are perpetrating racism against Arabs, against the black Muslims. Which is why, if you look at social media, The Fulani supremacists will never say, oh, they are killing Fulanis. Oh, they'll say, oh, they are attacking we Muslims. Who are the Muslims that are committing crimes against humanity in the middle belt of Nigeria? Fulanis. But they've been able to insert themselves. They've been able to entangle themselves to equalize Fulani and Islam to mean the same thing. That's what they've done all over the world, all over West Africa. So when you try to say, did you, for instance, let's even go further into this. 90, you look at Mali. Mali is almost 99% Muslims. You look at Niger. Niger is almost 99% Muslims. You look at Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is almost 99% Muslim. What happened? You have a situation what where the population is almost 100% Muslims, but you have groups, armed groups, armed with sophisticated weapons, controlling almost 60%, killing young and old, that are saying they are fighting in the name of Islam. What are they fighting for? And it's always the Afro-Semitic groups. If it's not Fulani, it is Arabs. If it's not Arabs, it is the Tuaregs that are at war with black people across the Sahel. The whole of North Africa used to be populated by black people. So they've chased us from North Africa. They've chased us from the Sahel. Where exactly are we going to run to? Where exactly are we running to? Into the ocean? Because a lot of people don't actually understand what is going on. And people with 1,000, you look at what happened in Central African Republic. It was just a ragtag. Central African Republic is almost 80 to 90% Christian. But it took just 2 to 3% of the population to take up arms, go into Banjul, commit crimes against humanity, and control the entire country by, by radicals coming from Sudan. So what exactly? So this is not an attack about against Islam, because they are doing the same thing in Niger Republic. They are doing the same thing in Mali. They are doing the same thing in Burkina Faso. So that is what we need to be afraid of. What is going on? And the democracy of Nigeria is actually not sure. Anywhere this kind of insecurity takes place, where you have a huge chunk of your territory being controlled by non-state actors. These non-state actors are sophisticated, and they are even taking your resources. They are taking the resources of the indigenous people to fund their fights. It is almost impossible to have any form of democracy. Let me give you an instance. Mali is controlled, is fighting against jihadists. Democracy failed in Mali. Same thing in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is fighting against jihadists. Democracy has failed. Sudan is also fighting against jihadists. Democracy has failed. Central African Republic is also fighting against jihadists. Democracy has failed. So where you have this huge chunk of insecurity, if we are not careful, one way or the other, democracy is going to become history in Nigeria. And people, ethnic supremacists, are going to use that opportunity to use the problem of insecurity to take over Nigeria and take back Nigeria into the days of Abacha. If you talk, you are going to be killed. You think they don't have democracy activists in Burkina Faso? So you think these people that are destabilizing Nigeria don't think they don't know what they are doing? Look, in as much Nigeria practices democracy, it is impossible for Fulani supremacy to exist and survive. The Fulani supremacy can only survive in an autocratic, theocratic society. That is why most of the coup in Nigeria has always been organized from people that subscribe to the Madam Fodio ideology. it is a reality. That's why you see them. It is very easy to spit on Adeko and mock the Yoruba people that we fought, we spilled our blood, we did not kill them back for killing our people. When the Igbos killed Amadu Bello, they went berserk and they went toe to toe. And in order to make the country ungovernable, they committed genocide and killed tens of thousands of Igbos and Easterners in retaliation. But when they killed the Ariel Kakanfò of Yoruba land, they killed the richest black man in Africa. They killed the best of our best brains, drove the best of our best brains into exile. They were still able to manipulate us to say, let us forgive and forget, and let us come back. And let us come back in 1990, in 1999, and let us move on. Because they understand that within the Yoruba space, we have people who have broken values and broken principles, who will continue to ensure that the Yoruba people tolerate disrespect because they want to be seen as pacifists. So this is one of the end goal. This is the future of Nigeria. If Nigeria does not solve insecurity, the military will take over. Recall what I'm saying down today. If Nigeria, it is not, we are not prophets of doom. If you love democracy, that is why it is okay. For instance, look at Tinubu. Tinubu did not. Could not leave the airport and go into the Jos metropolis because the security was not clear. Because there's no the security, we didn't know what was happening there. He didn't know what was happening. He wasn't sure of his own life. There are almost 1 or 2 times they've tried to orchestrate a coup d'etat that will kill him. So he could not go into that place. He wasn't sure. So that's the reality. That is the reality that we face. That is the reality we face in Nigeria. And so we say, oh, hey, the president could not go there. The president is killed. The country goes to a civil war. That's the reality. Because the Yoruba people are never going to witness another humiliation of Abacha. And anybody's going to tell us, let us move on. We're not moving on. Because this country is an amalgamation. It's a British project built on the blood of indigenous people. It's the reality. The British in
Sorry, we lost already. He'll be back. Okay, you're back. Are you back? Are you are muted?
ilẹ̀ wa ń sunkún lábẹ́ ìrìn. Àwọn bàbá wa ń wọ́ wá
I still can't hear you.
lókè.
We can't hear you.
Wọ́n filẹ̀ yìí sí ọwọ́ wa.
Check your
Wọ́n
audio.
á gbàgbé ohun tí wọ́n ń sọ. À ń jagun ara wa lójú ọ̀nà.
Please hold on. Are will join us
À
back.
ń ta ìtàn wa lọ́wọ́. Bí a kò bá rántí ibi tá a ti
Let me
bọ̀.
hear you speak.
Báwo la ṣe máa mọ
Not yet.
ibi tá a lọ? Ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn bàbá ṣì ń pè wá nínú
Check
afẹ́fẹ́
your audio.
ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Your mic.
Ohùn ilẹ̀ ń ké pé má ṣe gbàgbé ẹni tí ó jẹ́. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a gbé ilẹ̀ wa ga. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a dá àṣà wa bọ̀.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, good. Arrange that. Thank you very much, Darren. Yeah, go ahead, Darren.
Okay, thank you so much. So, the reality is that if you understand what Nigeria is, Nigeria was created by Britain. And Nigeria created by Britain, the Nigeria that was created by the British, was not meant to become a threat to Britain. So this country is not meant to become a superpower. Every other African country is not meant to challenge or to become a superpower. It is to continue human resources and capital resources and mineral resources for the industrial economy of the world. Africa provided the labor that built America. Africa provided the labor that built the Caribbeans. Africa provided the labor that built South America. You provided the human people that worked for 400 years without getting paid. Africa provided the labor that also built the Arab and Turkish empires. African slaves were used as mercenaries by the Arabs and the Turks and the Persians. So we were not meant to actually challenge the superpowers. The creation of the Gulf countries by the British and the French, the creation of the countries in the Middle East. These countries are not meant to challenge Western powers. That was why Iraq was taken out, because Iran was challenging the Western powers. Libya was challenging the Western powers. Libya has been partitioned into almost 3 places now. One controlled by Russian-backed general, another one controlled by Western-backed general, another place controlled by ISIS. This is almost about 10 years. And the Libyan oil continues to flow. Oil from Libya continues to flow. So it doesn't mean Sudan is broken into two currently. I mean, the Arab Sudan. We have the eastern one controlled in Khartoum, another one controlled in Darfur. But the gold and oil in Sudan continues to flow to the industrial powers. So insecurity will continue because it continues. Because many of these things are sold at black markets. So the insecurity will continue. It will continue until the African nations, Nigeria, is ready to confront this monster. Until we are going to tell the Fulanis that the Fulanis, you cannot continue to hold Nigeria at hostage. This is why when some of us stood up and we were moving against that Igbo deputy speaker, when he said that they should destroy the indigenous bill, indigenous rights, and pushing the indigenous people and replacing with the state of residence instead of state of origin. Look at what is happening in Plateau states. So that means the entire Nigeria will be in a state of war. Even amongst the Yoruba people. You see what is happening between Ife and Mudakeke? We've seen people intentionally writing history. You see people who call themselves Yoruba nationalists intentionally pushing hate. They push hate and demonize demonize. I'm saying it's the Oyo block. Based on revisionism, they are using the excuses of the gaffes of the Alafin and the utterances of some Yoruba, of some Oyo, some rude Oyo folks to push hate against the Oyo people. Now, that is within the Yoruba race.
Now you now remove indigenous status. So there will be war all across Nigeria. Absolute war.
Sorry. Sorry, it's off again. I think that's his network.
òrìṣà ilé ń wò wá lọ́dọọdún.
He's back.
àwọn bàbá ń dúró
Hello?
dè wá.
Okay, you're welcome again, Are.
Yeah. It's the network. I don't know what's going on
Yeah,
here.
I understand.
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's move on, right? Please.
Yeah. So that is the situation of things as regards the issue within Nigeria. So when you have this situation of things within Yoruba land, where even amongst the different Yoruba tribes and different Yoruba groups, you see Ifo and Ilobu fighting about land disputes. You see Ede and Oshogbo fighting about land disputes. You see Ife and Ijesha fighting about land disputes. So even ourselves, we still have, there's indigens within Nigeria, there's even sub-indigens within Nigeria. So what you have in Plateau states is not a fight between Christians and Muslims. It's a fight between settlers and indigenous people. But Chief Obafemi Awolowo want the problem we should have solved close to 70 years ago is what we are currently facing now. And that problem is we are not able to solve the problem of indigenous issue. We were not able to solve the problem of indigenous issue. And what is the problem of the indigenous? What is the problem of the indigenous issue? The problem of the indigenous issue, indigenous secular issue, because we had a nomad within us. And who is in? We have two nomads. The Fulanis are minority everywhere in Nigeria, but the benefits they got is that the British created a system that protected everything they got in the Uthman Fodio Jihad. Go and look at the structure of Nigeria. The structure of Nigeria was built in a way to keep and maintain the structure, the gains of Uthman Fodio Jihad. That was what we had. That was the situation of things. So how exactly are we going to solve the Nigerian problem? How? How do we solve the Nigerian problem? The Nigerian problem can only be solved if the political leaders have political will. If they have the political will to belt the cat and tell ourselves the truth that we need to stop, we need to practice ethno-linguistic federalism. We need to be able, and within Yoruba land, how do Yoruba people survive this dangerous time? That is why it is dangerous. It was a pure blasphemy for the new IG of police to be saying that the the state police is going to happen in the next 5 years. And it said 60 years, 60 months. That's how you know that a lot of our political elites are criminal in their thoughts and in actions. That's the bitter truth. But because the Nigerian populace, look, democracy is good, but democracy is one of the most dangerous systems of government. For you to have a proper democracy, you must be able to do the following. You must have a strong middle class. You must have a vibrant and educated class. You must have a vibrant and intellectual class. That is why you see that everybody in Nigeria has close to 300 million people. But the Yoruba people, who account for maybe 1/4 of the entire population, we are the ones that everybody expects to to fight for democracy for them and be leading protests. Because there is a powerful and intellectual class within the Yorubas that was created by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, which is why we can practice democracy, which is why we understand democratic values and ideals. Because even our culture is also egalitarian to a certain extent. So we have this inherent ability to be able to galvanize, organize, compared to the rest of the country. Compared to the rest of the country. So which is why everybody believes that the reason why Nigeria continues to have a form of democracy, opposition versus ruling party, was because Yoruba people have been in opposition. Ever since Yoruba people, anytime Yoruba people leave opposition, the opposition collapses in Nigeria because of who we are. And that is why the rest of the country do not have the intellectual manpower to practice democracy. I'm not, this is not a supremacist talk. What sort of democracy are you going to practice when 80% of people in the state cannot read and write? What sort of democracy? I remember in 2003, there was a damning report, I've forgotten the newspaper, that 90% of the people of Borno State cannot read and write. That was the period of Alimadu Sheriff, the governor of Borno State. I've forgotten the year to be specific.
ọmọ Yorùbá jí kúrò nínú oòrùn àkókò tí dé báyìí.
Are you there?
Tí a bá
We're so
fẹ́
sorry for
ọjọ́
tonight's
láre,
challenges on the broadcast and the
gbọ́dọ̀
space.
rántí
His
ara
network
wa.
is giving him loud problem.
Ilẹ̀
Hopefully
ìṣòro
we can get
nínú
this resolved
ara
soon.
wa, ìran wa ń pè
Please
wá
enjoy our song
padà.
for time being.
Òun nínú kébé, má ṣe gbàgbé ìtàn rẹ̀. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a gbé ilé wa dá. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a dá àṣà wa bọ̀. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a mọ ara wa dáadáa. Kí a
Shouting gone by.
Okay. So, Gabo. Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
Eshe. So, unfortunately, a lot of things, we've been having a lot of network. I really, really want to apologize for my hand here. So we have to understand that the insecurity situation in Nigeria, it's never going to end soon. And many people actually think they are fighting a ragtag bandit or terror. You are fighting just a ragtag. You are fighting people that are capable of capturing Abuja. The people you are fighting are the people that have fought the Mali military to a standstill. It is the people that have fought the Burkina Faso military to a standstill. It is the people that have fought Nigeria military almost to a standstill for the past 20 years. This is not IPOB. This is a well-organized, ideological driven people with network across West Africa. So how do we solve this problem? We solve this problem by entrenching ethno-linguistic federalism. Solve the problem of Nigeria. We need to answer the Nigerian question. Are we a secular colonialist country, or are we a country in the real sense of it? Fiscal federalism. The people, people will sponsor the way Nigeria is, that everything goes to the center. If we have true federalism, we have proper federalism, and you have true federalism, you are going to have a situation whereby people are going to know that the resources in their land belongs to them. But then they know that if you know about these resources, a lot of their resources is surely going to be taken away. People are never going to tell you. People are never going to tell you if they have resources in their backyard. There will be illegal mining. There's nothing you are going to do. If you like, just like people trying to stop bunkering in the Niger Delta, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. The locals are never going to cooperate with you. That is why you see in Zamfara. Zamfara is the richest state in Nigeria as we speak. Thousands of tons of gold leaves Zamfara every year, unaccounted for. Anybody who becomes the governor of Zamfara instantly becomes a trillionaire because you are secondly rich. You are secondly rich. All of a sudden, Zamfara is suffering from poverty. Is building a airport. Kogi is also building a airport. To do what? Is it not to transport all this cargo out of Nigerian airspace? So we are in trouble. We're in a big, big trouble. The structure of Nigeria is surely going to destroy. The structure of Nigeria is surely going to destroy Nigeria. It's surely going to destroy Nigeria. So what we can do is to reorganize Nigeria into a proper place, is to reorganize Nigeria into a proper base, is to reorganize Nigeria into its proper space. When we organize Nigeria properly, then we are going to have a hope. Anything apart from that, we are deceiving ourselves. Anything apart from that is a waste of time. So that's the situation of things. So the insecurity of is we are fighting an asymmetrical warfare. Now, I spoke extensively about how the solid minerals, I love one thing I see about Africans. This is why African leaders, they love religion. African leaders, there is nothing religious about them. Nigerian leaders, there's nothing religious about them. They are elitists. And they love power. They worship mammon. They love money. That's the bitter truth. No exception. But the reality about them is that they understand the power of religion. They respect Islamic clerics, they respect Christian clerics. Which is why you've seen that a lot of our people have also embraced political Christianity. A lot of our people have also embraced political Islam. Because they know that is one of the things they can leverage, they can use to also sit on the table. So that's the reality. That is the reality of Nigeria. So when you look at all this reality, you look at the reality of Nigeria from this point of view, you are going to see why we pump billions and billions and billions of naira into religion every year. Why? Because when you pump that Nigeria religion is it makes people docile. Because how do you think somebody that has studied the French Revolution, the Haitian Revolution, Bolshevik Revolution, that have studied many revolutions in the world, that understand empire building, kingdoms, a lot of these things. When you understand all those things, it is impossible for somebody to say, oh, let us just forget it. Let us move on. Let us continue to endure. The Fulani, these Fulani killers, our brothers, the nonsense you are hearing from top security leaders in Nigeria. Do you hear such nonsense in the Western world? No. Is it possible for the Yoruba people to be killing people all over Nigeria and we've not, and the whole of Nigeria will not have cracked down on us. It is impossible.
Are, we would like to take a very brief 2 or 3 minute break, okay? As we
Okay,
get,
thank you.
now thank you. You are coming out to Yoruba land now. We have talked extensively about the country at large, and we have seen now that addressing the symptoms, without you know going for the main problem, okay, the causes, is it won't solve this problem for Nigeria. And we have seen that can a nation develop under sustained insecurity? You've shown to us that it's not possible.
It is impossible.
Yeah, it's very, very
It is
impossible.
impossible.
So as we move to the next part of this discussion, we have just some minutes more to go. We have a very brief song, one of our songs to play for us while Are will be able to take some little water and and rest a little bit. Let's just hear this.
ilẹ̀ wa ń sunkún lábẹ́ ìrìn. Àwọn bàbá wa ń wọ́ wa lókè. Wọ́n filẹ̀ yìí sí ọwọ́ wa. Ṣùgbọ́n a gbàgbé ohun tí wọ́n ń sọ. À ń jagun ara wa lójú ọ̀nà. À ń ta ìtàn wa lọ́wọ́. Bí a kò bá rántí ibi tá a ti ń bọ̀, báwo la ṣe máa mọ ibi tá a lọ? Ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn bàbá ṣì ń pè wá nínú afẹ́fẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ohùn ilẹ̀ ń ké pé má ṣe gbàgbé ẹni tí ó jẹ́. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a gbé ilẹ̀ wa ga. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a dá àṣà wa bọ̀. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a mọ ara wa dáadáa. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a pa ìtàn wa kọ́. Òrìṣà ilé ń wọ́ wá lọ́dọọdún. Àwọn bàbá ń dúró dè wá. Ilẹ̀ tí a jogún kì í ṣe títà. Ìrántí ń bọ̀ wá. Ọmọ Yorùbá jí kúrò nínú oorun. Àkókò ti dé báyìí. Tí a bá fẹ́ ọjọ́ ọ̀la rere, a gbọ́dọ̀ rántí ara wa. Ilẹ̀ ìsọ̀lọ̀ nínú wàhálà wa, ìran wa ń pè wá padà. Ohùn nínú kébé, má ṣe gbàgbé ìtàn rẹ̀. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a gbé ilé wa dá. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a dá àṣà wa bọ̀. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a mọ ara wa dáadáa. Kí a ronú Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan, kí a pa ìdá wa mọ̀.
Yeah, thank you very much for that short music break. Are you're welcome back. An effective national security strategy. What should it look like? What role will state policing play in this? And if we bring it down to our level now to Yoruba land, where does regional collaboration come in? Because last week when the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Lagos State, Mr. Honorable Benga Motosho was here, he talked about regional collaboration. Where does regional collaboration of Yoruba Southwest governors come in? Because if Togo can be a country, if Ghana can be a country, if Cameroon can be a country, these three countries in population, they are not even up to Yoruba land. So that means our six southwest states alone can be a country, if not for the fact that we unfortunately found ourselves in the country called Nigeria. What can regional collaboration, even though we're Nigeria, what can or how can it help us when it comes to this security? I'm very happy to hear. I saw in the video that Ogun State governor was able to set up an airport, and they commissioned, was it today or so, and also that the whole airport is not even on the national grid. They're being powered by gas, which is a very good achievement for our government, for our governors in Yoruba land. So, in what way can regional collaboration help our security in Southwest?
Thank you so much. I want to really say sorry to our listeners today. There's a lot of internet issue. I am happy, no. Um, this is a very tough question, but I'll keep it simplistic. Let's start with state police.
Okay.
Most of the problems we have in Nigeria is being that we are using the military to use. I also want to say something. It is extremely dangerous for the survival of Nigeria. It is extremely dangerous for the survival of Nigeria for us to be using state police, for us to be using the military for internal security. As it is, the Nigerians are not afraid of, we've normalized seeing our military. I want to ask many of us living abroad, how many times have you seen American military, British military in your neighborhood, German military? The only time we saw it was during the time of COVID, when the entire country was overwhelmed. But you look at Nigeria, from Borno State to Adamawa, to Ogun State, to Kwara State, we are even begging the military to be setting up military bases. What has happened to our police? Who is responsible for the now? We don't just have police. We have police and we have the civil defense. What exactly are they doing to maintain internal security of law and order? Are they overwhelmed? Are they incompetent? Are they overstretched? Have we asked ourselves this question? Then something is wrong. It shows that the unitary system of Nigeria has failed. The unitary system that the Igbos advocated for, that the Fulanis are now using for the rest of Nigeria, has destroyed Nigeria. Let me tell you the truth. Any politician coming to tell you that they are going to prepare Nigeria in 2027, they are lying. Nigeria has structural problems. That is why we need leaders. Look, I know the reason why Tinubu is even afraid to do a lot of things is because he's afraid to be attacked. He's afraid. Let us say the truth. So if you see the military everywhere, the military are in Anambra, military are in Enugu, military are in the Niger Delta, military are in Oyo State, military are in Osun State, military is here, military is here. So all of a sudden, we are even playing with a coup d'etat because we've handed our internal security over to the military. People don't know that. I'm sorry, this thing called democracy, we are jokers. If things continues this way, Tinubu will might finish in 2031. We might not have a country after 2031. What we are going to have, look, Sudan, Somalia has ceased, apart from the capital in Mogadishu. Many places in Somalia, Puntland, Somaliland, they are like regions, independent regions, where you now see different terrorist organizations all over the world setting up shops. Nigeria is already in that place now. And fighting wars is extremely expensive. The easiest way to collapse any country, the easiest way to collapse any empire is for an empire to continue to fight wars. That is why most kingdoms. Somebody said maybe why did Ijebu did not become an empire? My Ijebu brothers and sisters, they love money and they understand money. Because empires, you burn money when you go and build one. The reason why America will continue to build the American empire is because America holds the dollar. Look at what they did. How many countries can try what America did in Afghanistan? For 20 years, or close to $500 billion down the drain. And let's even talk about how the Taliban were able to survive America. The Taliban that believed that Islamic theocracy, strict Sharia law, Taliban were selling heroin. Heroin was where the Taliban was getting money. So there was even the Islamic radicals were now engaging in drug trade in order to be able to finance their terror. So what you have, anything they understand that anything that can be used to sustain their operations is what they are using. So the situation, the system, the agenda of ISIS, the agenda of Boko Haram, the agenda of Lakurawa is not actually to win the war. It is to decimate Nigeria. If not for the resources, the humongous resources coming from the Niger Delta and the Southwest, Nigeria would have collapsed. They would have relocated. They would have relocated the capital of Nigeria back to Abuja, back to Lagos State, because they would have overrun. They would have overrun the entire country. So we're in a very dire situation. That is why the biggest sin, state police. That's why I said state police. I hope state police will be. It's not too late.
There's a question.
Because
This person
yeah,
said, "Can police be really considered to be adequate to face this war situation with the level of sophistication of the terrorists? Are police actually enough? State police, like, do they even have
what is
enough
going to
weapons?"
what is going to the problem Nigeria had,
Okay.
the diabolical ideology that you need to take somebody from Ikale in Ondo State
Mm.
and take them to Borno, Maduguri to be policing. That was where we destroyed Nigeria.
When it's not NYSC,
Even NYSC, do you know the number of coppers that were killed by Islamic
yeah,
fundamentalists in Jos?
it's terrible.
Young people. I did not see the NYSC Director General, the NYSC leaders saying anything. Are the lives of our people that are now being used, being killed, are they even insured? You raise a child from primary school, without parents, to university.
Only for
Omo
one
go delay.
animal. Just
You
God.
now it is now being he was now killed by jihadists in Jos. And the government says nothing about it. There is no, you don't know, you are not talking about pension for the parents. There's no insurance. The government does nothing. And we just move on as if nothing happens. And the president is even afraid to leave the airport. He's peeping through the window. in the airport. I supported Tinubu, but we know that we are in trouble. Katsina, people don't know that half of the local government in Kebbi State is now controlled, populated by Lakurawa terrorists. Kebbi State, half of all the local government in the entire Kebbi State. People don't actually understand that this is no longer a northeast problem anymore. The cancer has metastasized. They are moving now in the north central. We've normalized terrorism. I know a lot of our people are talking about um, politics in 2027. Yeah, we need Tinubu. The reason why we need Tinubu, can state police solve this problem? Well, in the southwest, state police can solve it. And the reason why we are talking about state police is that the state police is going to be coming from the indigenous people. I hope that the state governors are not going to bastardize that state police. Let me give you an instance. Come on, also state police, the NYSC in multi-ethnic states. You go to places like Delta states, and you say because you want to avoid tribalism in Delta states, you now transfer an Igbo-speaking state police from northern, from Delta North. They might be lost in your side. It's the same. State police only work. I am not. I am not. I am not joking. Because there's going to be, we have problems in multi-ethnic states. Nigeria, the reason why state police with the problem is that you look at states like Nasarawa, Kwara, Kogi, which other state is that? Niger State. There's going to be problems because these states are multi-ethnic. So because the states are in Delta, in Benin, the state is going to be multi-ethnic. So you cannot say because we are from the same states. Kewamu in Niger State, you take a Nupe police, you take him to the Bariba region. Could work? So there's a lot of problem. That's why they are confused. They don't know what to do. But the problem is that the rest of us are being dragged down into this mess. We are being dragged down into hell. That's why you saw the issue of Somalia. Somalia is busy running after Tasketa that Somaliland must not secede. Meanwhile, Somalia is a cesspit of corruption, terrorism, and destruction and chaos. So why are you insisting that other people must go down with you? You preach hate.
All in the name of religion.
All in the name of religion. You even don't want to become Somali again. You want to become Arab. The other ones don't want to follow your madness, but you want to say then you must do one Somali. That is the situation we have.
And they're practicing the same religion, but those ones are doing it
they're
very,
in a different way because it's an ideal, it's a supremacist. Sherry, once you politicize anything, then we're in trouble. Once you politicize, Sherry, you are seeing intercontinental missiles. Intercontinental missiles, only one low near Iran and low everywhere. Intercontinental missiles is you can shoot from one continent to the other. Good. It can only bomb. But once you now put, instead of a normal bomb, you put a nuclear weapon into it, that's the issue of religion. Once you weaponize religion, we're in trouble. And that's why, let me also say this. When Boko Haram, ISIS, ISWAP, wanted to start their operations in the core north, let me tell you what they did. All the Islamic clerics that were moderate never got pardoned. People don't know this, so all the moderates, the Islamic clerics. Torí ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ráwọn kéwù ṣe ìkàkí gba góòdù ń pariwo pé ẹ má jẹ́ kán pa àwọn o. Shouting on top of their voices. They were killing, massacring All the sheikhs that were bold, the same method no Sudan. In Sudan, before Sudan went full blown, to the Sudan ambushed people like Osama bin Laden. Sudan killed and jailed many of their moderate clerics. They were saying that shape on black people in Sudan, they killed a lot of them. After they were done, they now went full blown, full ballistic. So in tó ní northern Nigeria nìyẹn, wọn ò tí ì rí ṣe ní southern Nigeria. Torí ẹ̀ ní nígbà tí TYF tá a publish pé Rapita wọ́n mú àwẹ̀ làwọn the usual suspects that preach hate, extremism in Nigeria, they start saying, oh, this organization is anti-Islam. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní gather mob. They used to incite the mob. In those self Yoruba land, we are educated, we are vibrant, and we are tenacious. And we have a strong civilization and an educated middle class. If not, mobs naman low. So this issue of state police, it will work in Yoruba land. So state police them are safe for our middle belt states to be able to flush out Fulani militias from their space.
Yes.
In recently, àwọn northwest fi ń bẹ̀rù nìyẹn because wọn ò kàn lè sọ síta nípa àwọn condone ní táwọn Fúlàní ń ṣe. They see it as pé in tó ń ṣe yẹn ó sì favour wọn one way or the other. So kò jẹ́ bó ṣe jẹ́ o.
Ẹ ṣeun gan AK Queen náà ló tún gbé ìbéèrè yìí wá ti gbé sójú fọ́nrán sọ ní how can indigenous people be certain to be enlisted in state police in Southwest? We have states like Lagos where that's being sued by Southeasterners for discrimination over Yoruba language. Will they not do the same for state policing? Actually, in respect to Lagos State government, our honorable commissioner who was there last week also upon going on the court, but I'm not listening. So Yoruba language is still being taught and it's being a medium for teaching in Lagos State. So when you only work, ọmọ ẹ̀gbọ́n ní gbogbo aṣọkọ́lá ń sá lọ́rùn kó dénà látòkè once they are done with their policy with everything, it's just to give us a guide. Kì í gbé dandan every state must follow. Okay, tó wá ní pé ó ní ìfẹ́ state kò sí state tí ò ní insecurity in Nigeria lónìí kò sí. We all have various levels of insecurity in our different states. So if anybody thinks that he loves to join the state police to protect and to give peace, you go back to where you come from. Kí wọ́n ṣe ọlọ́pàá lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kan ní pé ọdún dé afẹ́lẹ́ṣe Christmas kó ló fẹ́ lọ sí ìlú ẹ̀ ló bẹ́tà kó lọ ṣe ọlọ́pàá náà. So I can't really dwell much on that one because ọ̀gá yẹn wọ́n ti sọ fún wa last week pé ìyẹn ò lè ṣe lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. And please, if you have any question, you want to ask questions or you want to make a short contribution, you can raise up your hand so I can pick you up to the speakers session. The way it is, Are, is Nigeria at a turning point or we're at a tipping point?
Tipping point, man.
Oh God. So
Point, man.
you've taught us tonight about what we can do, what our government can do differently. And I see President Tinubu as not just an ordinary person. I see him as a gift to Nigeria in this particular and a very critical time in the history of this country. He's a human being, he's not perfect, and I give it to him. He's okay, somebody's coming up. He's Oluwatobi, just come up. I've sent the mic to you. Okay. I'm adding you as a speaker. Just hold on there. Now, as I'm talking about President Tinubu, I see him as a gift to this nation. Okay. In every age, okay, there's always somebody God raises up to come up and do something unique for a nation. And I'm grateful to him that we did not lose this person he has given to us in the person of Tinubu. My prayer is that God will continue to protect him and give him wisdom. Because he's a human being, he's mortal, he's bound to make mistakes. But the few things we need in this country is to restructure this country. Okay, and I'm happy he became, when he was making that statement, he put in the clause or the caveat that National Assembly. I want to know first state police, please make this law for them. I want to know fair, come on fair. But if any state desires to police and to protect their people, please make it possible for them to do that. And I pray that God will help our leaders to be able to make right choices. As far as Nigeria is concerned, it's a failed project. I'm only interested in Yoruba land. God that's where been for him is all listening here. And that's where I will hand over to my children when they grow up. I don't want to be an Arab nation. I don't want to be an American. I don't want to be a British. I don't want to be anything. Yes, I'll be very happy to be a friend to the Arabs as I have today. I'd love to be a friend to America, to Britain, to every nation in the world. But o ní láti fi ara ẹ̀ sípò ọ̀wọ̀ ni before people can begin to respect you. Ọlọ́run ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Insecurity is not just an issue; it's a development issue. And Mr. Oluwa Toby, let's hear from you, please. What's your question to our tonight?
Yeah, good evening.
Ẹ
Good
káalẹ́
evening.
o.
Thank you very much for me too. Sir.
You're welcome.
Good evening.
Ṣé ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ ààrẹ?
Yeah. So basically, about Nigeria, looking at Nigeria, the secular state stands so. Mo fẹ́ lè sọ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nìkan ló ti wà productive ló ti ṣiṣẹ́. Now my question is, what can we do to intensify that secularism so that religious extremism kò ní wà buoyant tàbí tá a máa lè pa inú ẹ̀ pátápátá tó máa jẹ́ pé ó máa wà minute nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, because Nigeria as we know is like I will call it a failed project. Bí wọ́n ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, a failed project. Now everybody's looking at their own. Ó ti yé yín, ìgbésẹ̀ tó máa fún ní ọkàn tó máa ró tí ò ní ró sọ́dọ̀ ààrẹ. Now we are talking about our own self now. Kí la lè ṣe mọ̀ to mitigate that extremism nílẹ̀ Yorùbá? As kí àwọn religious, both Christian, Muslim and traditional, kó má bàa jẹ́ pé ká má bàa embolden wọn, kó má bàa di multi-religious state tó máa jẹ́ pé secularism yẹn ló ṣì máa maintain. So that's my question.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni, thank you, Ààrẹ.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Thank you so much for the wonderful message. For the quarter question, Emma Bino, are you a member of TYF?
Yes, I'm a member.
Which branch?
Well, I think I registered in here in the United Kingdom, but mi ò tí attend any meeting really, so mo kàn register and buy it, but mi ò gbọ́ any updates. Mo kàn register and buy it.
Okay. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣé lè DM me. Arekurunmi Kakanfo. I'm waiting for. Okay. Thank you so much. We also need more people to come up. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. We love to. I love your fire. I love your passion. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Number one. Shall I mute?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so what we need to do. Sherry, tẹ́ bá wo nǹkan tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa ní Nigeria. There are 3 major blocks in Nigeria. The Yoruba people, the Fulani block, and the Igbo block. The power of the Fulani block, the Igbo block, is based on Catholicism, Christianity, and Igbo nationalism. Catholicism, political Christianity, and Igbo nationalism. That is why someone like Nnamdi Azikiwe, someone like Ojukwu, and someone like Peter Obi is a Catholic, is a political Christian, and is an Igbo nationalist. He ticks all the boxes. Now, you look at the Fulanis, everything about them is built on 2 things. Fulani supremacy and political Islam. The Yoruba people, our own is built on Yoruba nationalism. That is why Enti Awolowo ṣe is unforgivable in the eyes of the Fulanis and the Igbos. Awolowo created and built Yoruba nationalism. Because we all know how deadly Yoruba people are. Because some of our people, once you believe in Ogun Kiriji, Ogun Owuwo, our sentiments. In fact, some people also believe we come as a competition within the different Yoruba empires. But this one is bad, this one, I've never seen, it is only uncivilized people that behave that way. Despite our civility, we still have people who are still primitive. Actually, in that way. So what we need to do is Yorubanism. Now, this is now where I'm going. Afenifere is the only Yoruba. The first one was Egbe Omoduduwa. If you go and read the comments, you can Google the comment of Awolowo about Egbe Omoduduwa. The Awolowo's comment about Egbe Omoduduwa was that Egbe Omoduduwa must be destroyed. He declared war on Egbe Omoduduwa. The Fulanis did not declare war on Egbe Omoduduwa. They didn't have the audacity to do that. The Bibios did not declare war on Egbe Omoduduwa. It was the Igbo race that declared war on Egbe Omoduduwa. Because the political Yorubanism changes it turns Nigeria from a two-power block into a tripod. That's why they said if they cannot, the Yoruba people are betrayers, because you didn't allow them to create the Nigeria of their ideology, and they did not stop. That's why you see them, they've infiltrated most Yoruba institutions and organizations. I'm telling you today here, many Yoruba institutions and organizations have been infiltrated by not Fulani nationalists and Igbo nationalists. If you discuss anything about the future of Yoruba race today, what is sharing the other way? So it was when God gave us TYF, we understand that Kaki no be leader. They are building an institution tí ó ṣe pé jà ni wọ́n máa jà bẹ́ẹ̀, tí ó ṣe pé wọ́n máa bára wọn lórúkọ jẹ́, tí ó ṣe pé wọ́n fi ń ja olè. Because Yoruba nationalism ọ̀nà àtijọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ni wọ́n fi ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ olóṣèlú ni. Wọ́n fi ń gba owó sápò ní ẹlòmíì ò tiẹ̀ níṣẹ́ mọ́, wọ́n ti ṣí ṣọ́ọ̀bù. So you have to build a Yoruba institution that preaches Yorubanism. You have to build a powerful one. At least we will be able to weather through. Look at Yoruba land. Look at Nigeria. Our competitors who are, because Nigeria is a competition. That's why we say the Yoruba race, the Igbo race, is a race, it's a competition. You are competing. Torí ẹ̀ la fi ń pariwo pé tribalism nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ó gbọ́dọ̀ stop. Torí ẹ̀ ní some of us. Torí ẹ̀ ni mo fi dedicate pé kí ló dé? Why are you preaching hate against your block? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Èló náà fún yín. Kí lẹ fẹ́ gbà nínú ìwà ìkà yìí? Many of them cannot even explain it. Wọ́n sá lọ. Because we allowed the hate to continue. Tó bá ti rí any mistake báyìí, wọ́n á yẹra wọn láṣọ ni síta. Torí ẹ̀, for the past 10 years, Yoruba organizations tán ti gbé lọ sí corporate affairs commissions. Afẹ́ ju 1,000 lọ tán ti lọ open. Ẹgbẹ́ ìṣọ̀kan, ẹgbẹ́ kìnìkan obìnrin, kìnìkan àgbáyé, kìnìkan. CAC ni, it is still dead. Because the ideology, kò lè ṣe pé kò sáwọn olóòótọ́ nínú àwọn organizations yẹn, àwọn ìkà ló surround ibẹ̀ tán destroy ẹ̀. That's why many people did not know the pains and the tears. Ta fi mọ́ra, ta fi débi ta dé. So to build, to bring back and suppress extremism, we need to think Yoruba first. Torí ẹ̀ ni àwọn platforms wa is a threat to extremists. Let me give you an instance. In 2023, for 2 years, làwọn Yoruba radical Christians didn't attack me. They called me extremist, antichrist. TYF is antichrist. TYF is a jihadist organization. These are people that are people that are not exposed to. People I don't know. They don't even know my background. They don't know anything about me. Many of them blocking me. If they are multi-block one that know. They are terrorist organization. They are Islamic organization. That was what they did 2022, 2023. Tora sọ fún wọn pé ọmọ ẹni ò ṣèdí bẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ káfílẹ̀kẹ̀ sí di ọmọ ẹlòmíì. They play religious politics within the context of Nigeria. So you have to follow Tinubu. They didn't listen. Many of them, last 2024, not sneaking. Ronald this, Ronald that, conservative this, conservative that. Èmi gan tiẹ̀ má tiẹ̀ lómi gan tó yẹ pé kò mọ tán pé nationalism tá lọ kọ́ síbẹ̀ pé you don't know about leadership in Yoruba nationalism ẹni tí ò tí kó WhatsApp group jọ rí successfully láyé ẹ̀ tí ò kọ́ any business jọ rí. So you have to understand what Yoruba nationalism is all about. It is what Pax Yorubana is all about. And that is why Yoruba national, Mr. Bakari can bear me witness. Àwọn tó jẹ́ pé níjọ́ tí Boko Haram ti ń pa hundreds of thousands of Nigerians, wọn ò ṣí rúùmù kan sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn tí ìjọ́ tí ISIS tó ti ń pa kúkúrú àti gígùn ní West Africa, wọn ò ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa yẹn. Wọ́n lọ ṣí rúùmù. Sunday Igboho must be killed. Sunday Igboho must be jailed. Wọ́n lọ ṣí rúùmù because they fear Yoruba nationalists. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé wèrè ló lè wo wèrè. Yoruba nationalism is an antidote. Awólọ́wọ̀ ti fún wa ní way forward. Ó ti fún wa ní master key. Torí ẹ̀ ni wọ́n fi infiltrate. Kí ló dé tí Afẹ́nifẹ́re pín sọ́nà bíi méjì mẹ́ta mẹ́rin? Who infiltrated it? Who destroyed it? Ṣé rò pé ó wo àwọn bàbá yẹn kí nǹkan ni wọ́n wo àárín wọn ní? Wọ́n wo àárín Awólọ́wọ̀ àti Akíntọ́lá náà ní. It was a well orchestrated job, physically and spiritually. Wọ́n wo àárín wọn ní. So if you are not tough, if you are not battle hardened, o ò lè ṣe ní Yoruba nationalism, o ò lè ṣe. It is better for you to be coming every Sunday like this, come on, every Saturday like this, just give your lecture and go. But you want to build an institution, then you are joking. That will be built ideologically. They will destroy it, they will sabotage it. But if you have God with you, you will win. That's why we are here. So it is Pax Yorubana. Tell of you, Republic, country, Ibo, you must join us. And you must know the leadership are not perfect. They will get angry. They will say what they are not supposed to say, but we must be able to build. We must be able to build. So Yoruba nationalism is the solution. Many people, àtúnṣe Yoruba nationalism yẹn, àwọn kan wọ́n bú Islam, àwọn kan wọ́n bú Christianity bẹ́ẹ̀. Torí ẹ̀, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ òkúta ọ̀rọ̀, ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bá TYF jẹ́. Mo fi wọ́n sọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Kọ́lọ́run rántí wọn fún ìdájọ́ tó yẹ fún wọn. Because after 2 years or 3 years of blackmail, when TYF is pro-Islam and anti-Christian, nísìnyí àwọn extremists TYF is now anti-Islam now because we are saying, bó let's ṣe mọ́ bèrè fún Sharia law in a secular country. So make sense. Why? ẹ dẹ̀ rí pé ẹ rán àwọn fún Igbo influencers àwọn náà wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ pé Christianity ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò dáa tó the Christianity ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ń bá Muslims ṣe it is not good enough but Christianity tí àwọn ń ṣe nílùú ara wọn tí bàbá ń gbá tí ìyá ọmọ ń gbá bàbá ẹ̀ létí tí wọ́n ti cannibalize ara wọn tó òun náà fẹ́ gbé wọlé Yorùbá. How do you stop it? Yoruba nationalism.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
And Yoruba nationalism is not hate against any ethnicity. Yoruba nationalism is not hate against Igbos. Yoruba nationalism is not hate against Fulanis. Yoruba nationalism is not Pan-Africanism. Yoruba nationalism is not hate against whites. Yoruba nationalism is not hate against Chinese. Yoruba nationalism is not hate against your people. Torí àwọn táyé pé níta fi ń jẹun nìyẹn ká máa ba orúkọ àwọn the entire Ọ̀yọ́ people jẹ́ iná fi ń jẹun lórí Facebook, TikTok àti ní Twitter. Yoruba nationalism is not hate against the Ife people, the Ooni of Ife. You cannot abuse that throne. You cannot abuse any throne in Yoruba land. Yoruba nationalism is not the hate, it's not supremacy. Where you believe, even if people are the superior blood above all Yoruba people, you don't do that. Yoruba nationalism is not believe that Oyo is supreme above all Yoruba people. You cannot say that. You are an enemy of Yoruba race if you do that. Yoruba nationalism is not the supremacy of Christianity. Yoruba nationalism is not the supremacy of Islam. Yoruba nationalism is not the supremacy of Sharia law. Yoruba nationalism is not the supremacy of your church. Yoruba nationalism is not multiple 60 years lọ́dún mi ò ṣẹgbẹ́ age kola can be. It is not it. Yoruba nationalism is the vehicle, it's an institution, it's an ideology that organizes the Yoruba people throughout the world. And Yoruba people is not APC, PDP. It's a global phenomenon that brings the Yoruba people into a cohesive block so that we can be able to organize ourselves, so that we can be able to really become a formidable block. The Jews have done it, the Turks have done it, the Indians have done it, the Hindus have done it, the Gujaratis have done it, the Sikhs have done it, the Han-Chinese have done it, the Arabs have done it, the Persians have done it, the Germans have done it. That's what Yoruba nationalism is all about.
Thank you, Are. I think there's another one coming here. Okay.
I would love people to come on stage.
Yes, I'm trying to invite them now. And we have just 10 more minutes.
Mr. Toby, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Toby, for the question once again. If we don't have any further question, we'll... Okay, there's one request I'm seeing here. Okay, Mommy Dabiri. Ekalema o monkey o. Eku Easter ma ṣe o ẹ ṣá fi chicken Easter ránṣẹ́ sí mi o. Èmi ò ní bínú màá fi mọ́ra náà ni. Alabi náà drop tẹ́lẹ̀ is back up again. Mommy, go ahead, ma. Mommy Dabiri. Go ahead, ma. Ekalema.
Ẹ̀kálẹ́ mọ́mí.
Gbé fóònù ṣé torí chicken tí máa gbà ní. Ẹ rántí pé chicken máa tán èyí ló wá kú o.
Mi ò rí kọ́ ní o.
Ẹ̀kálẹ́ ma, ẹ kú ọdún ma.
Ẹ̀kálẹ́, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ wa. Ààrẹ ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o. Ọlọ́run ní gbóhùn lọ́wọ́ yín o. Àgbọ̀ Ọlọ́run aṣàgbára yín dọ̀tun. Ọ̀rọ̀ ṣé pólíìsì lèmi fẹ́ padà sí. Ẹ jọ ṣé TYF park ṣé wọ́n lè bá wa kọ memorandum lórí nǹkan tá a expect mbẹ ká fi ránṣẹ́ sí àwọn committee tó set up yẹn because kíní tó tí mo kà last week yẹn inú mi ò dùn rárá. Ó dàbí pé kí ẹṣin máa gálọ̀pù lọ kọ́kàn rọra sọ ṣọ́ọ̀kì sí lẹ́sẹ̀ kẹ́ṣin yẹn má lè kọjá mọ́ òkú ṣubú. So mo ń wò pé èmi nǹkan tí mo expect tẹ́lẹ̀ mi expect pé ó jẹ́ pé kọ́mítì yẹn ló máa dá mọ nǹkan nípa bí state police ṣe yẹ jẹ́. Ó yẹ kán ti ṣe kí náà ń pè newspaper advertisement ìwọ tó bá ní memorandum kó send díẹ̀ so that wọ́n á lè learn from it. Then àwa Nàìjíríà ìṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ṣe àwọn countries míì ti ń ṣe why tí àwọn ò lè get idea nǹkan tó ń ṣe níbẹ̀ torí gbogbo náà pé 60 months yẹn ẹ má jẹ́ ntàn yín ó kọ mí lóminú gan because ní àwa tá a wà periphery our state tá a wà boundary especially the northern parts of our states we are in constant danger of these bandits coming. Èèyàn kan béèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé ṣé àwọn ọlọ́pàá ọwọ́ wọn máa kà ọlọ́pàá is trained for internal security. Tí wọ́n bá gba ọlọ́pàá dáadáa torí mo tún rí nínú proposal yẹn wọ́n ní kan fún wọn 3%. Owó kí nìyẹn? Báwo náà ṣe arrive at 3% yẹn? Ṣé wọ́n pín state by state ni? So àwọn people need help àwọn tó ń gbéṣẹ́ fún the fact pé èèyàn jẹ́ ọlọ́pàá kò mí pé ó ní gbogbo rudiment nǹkan tó yẹ kó wọnú ẹ̀. Ó yẹ kán even ó yẹ káwọn lawyers kan wà involved in this thing kán mọ offence tó máa constitute iṣẹ́ state police lẹ́yìn tó jẹ́ pé federal bíi America tó jẹ́ pé tó ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn bá lalẹ̀ tán tó rí pé federal felony yẹn ni FBI fi máa wá lọ sí county yẹn àbí state yẹn láti lọ wò pé àti dé o federal offence lélẹ̀ ìtọ́ sọ 60 months yẹn ẹjọ́ òun mo ṣe dín political action committee but maybe they can help us put all these things together and send it to them. Ó yẹ kán ti béèrè mí rí mo wo newspaper títí pé bóyá àríbi tó ti call for memoranda from different people but nothing like that. Wọn ò lè dá mọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ tán o. Ó yẹ ká ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ni o. Mi ò dẹ̀ mọ̀ bí president ṣe ń fi because urgency ti president fi sọ ó dàbí pé wọ́n ti gbé wálẹ̀ by this 60 months tó propose. Ẹ ṣe ààrẹ sóò ẹjọ́ ẹ bá wò bóyá ó ṣeé ṣe ká send memorandum sí wọn. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé ma. Thank you ma. Yeah, Ààrẹ, go ahead.
Ètí mọ́mí sọ kò sí àyọkúrò kò dẹ̀ sáfikún. Ẹ kalẹ́ mọ́mí is right on point. Mo dẹ̀ rò pé bàbá mi sábà Bákàrẹ̀ Jọ̀ṣẹ́ tí ẹ jẹ́ ká nò tẹ̀.
Yeah,
gbogbo àwọn tí
I know we were working on that, and also wọ́n ti submit ẹ̀ sí National Assembly, right? National Assembly will still call for everybody to come in and make input. CSOs, NGOs, government organizations and non-government organizations will still bring in their input into all these things. Ìgbàgbọ́ kí ni máa dé orí table National Assembly tí wọ́n á jókòó táwọn wò pókè báyìí ní ká darí ọ̀rẹ́ sí báyìí ní ká darí ẹ̀ sí. Even gbà yẹn gan àwọn state governors náà wọ́n á yọjú sí tí wọ́n á dẹ̀ àparí ẹ̀ tán. If every state náà ṣì máa àwọn National House of Assemblies náà ṣì máa debate on it. If okay, this is the federal rule, but the state rules will still have to come into place. When you have into play, sorry, I take that back. Into play. Once you have room to move, So we it will be a very big game changer for our time Yoruba. It became me or more. As far as Yoruba land is concerned, I know it will be I thought it will be a 100% security. Ọlọ́run ló ń ṣọ́ wa, right? Ṣùgbọ́n to some extent, ọkùnrin wa balẹ̀ tí máa ń travel for 30 minutes mo rí mọ́tò ọlọ́pàá lọ́nà. Mo wà ládó, gbọ́n tó ń ṣe ọlọ́pàá ládó, ọmọ Adó ni wọ́n. Mo ń wọ Ìkẹrẹ́, àwọn tó ń jẹ́ tó wà ní mo máa pàdé bọ́dà láti Ìkẹrẹ́, àwọn ọmọ Ìkẹrẹ́ ni wọ́n. I will feel relaxed, understand? Even ọlọ́pàá tó wà ní ọjà Ajílósùn Ládó tó lọ́mọ ní school kò ní fẹ́ kẹ́ni wọ́n lọ́pọ̀ ọmọ ní school now. bó tẹ̀lé gbọ́ ọmọ èmùrè wá kó máa ṣe ọlọ́pàá nínú adó ó lè má kà lára ṣe gẹ́tì mí sìn ó lè má kà lára dáadáa bẹ̀tẹ̀ pé ọmọ adó àbọ̀ àkúrẹ́ àbẹ́mọ̀ ọba ilé ló jẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ok tó wà ní tó ń protect ọba ilé lákúrẹ́ kò ní fẹ́ kẹ́ni wọ́n pa wọn ní school kò ní fẹ́ kẹ́ni pa wọn kò ní oko so he will make sure the amount of the fervency of the seriousness to security for him will be different from somebody who has no stake in that town, who has no stake in that city. Tobokunwa, he will that kind of person who only see police force as a means of chop chop. Me I can't chop. Me I go my house. If they let me they kill all of them, wait to concern me. Kó tó wọn remind it sí ẹni yẹn because kò ní stake nínú ìlú yẹn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tó wọ́n pé ojú ọmọ ìlú yẹn okay the nearest ọlọ́pàá tó wà lábẹ́ mi sìn the same church lájọ ń lọ tó máa ti jòkó ní church bá ẹyin làwọn ń jókòó sí àti ìyàwó ẹ̀ so you can imagine kò ní fẹ́ ní tí burúkú ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àwọn ọmọ tòun tó ń lọ school tó ń padà bọ̀ máa rí wọn ìyàwó ẹ̀ gbọ́ àwọn tó wọ́n jáde tí wọ́n jọ ń ṣe lọ gbá bọ̀ kò ní fẹ́ ní tí ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn sheriff ní mọ àmọ́ mi tó bá tẹ̀ lóko wọn gbá bọ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wa máa béèrè pé kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣé àwọn ilé iṣẹ́ wọn wà gbá bọ̀ dàbí kíníkan kíníkan so wọ́n mú amọ́ra wọ́n ti wá sílé mi several times kì í gbọ́ bóyá torí pé nìkan jí nǹkan but that closeness máa ń ṣó pé nítorí pé àwọn lè ìkọ̀kọ̀ ni wọ́n so a lè gbé anybody wá láti ibi kan tá a mọ̀ tá a débi lọ́wọ́ sá ní bàbá mi o ibà ló bí mi sí o ìyàwó mi o ẹgbẹ́ kejì bíi 15-minute drive lọ bí ìyàwó òun sí o so mo wí báyìí ibi mọ́ láti wà ní bí mi ò lọ́bi kankan you can imagine that kind of police tó tẹ̀ jẹ́ security ń lu yẹn tọ́kàn ti balẹ̀ kò ní fẹ́ kí nǹkan burúkú ṣẹlẹ̀ sílùú yẹn. This is what we are talking about. State security, state policing for Yoruba land, for every other place in Yoruba land, all over Nigeria. If they don't want, but for Yoruba land, this is what we want. Àwọn tó ń pera wọn náà lákàtàkìtì nínú Kristẹni ọlọ́pàá mọ̀ wọn àti mú wọn ṣìkún handover ọlọ́pàá fún ìjọba lọ́wọ́ kò ní difficult. Wọ́n náà tó gbọ́ pé Mùsùlùmí fẹ́ ṣe àbí oníṣẹ́ṣe ló fẹ́ fi fa wàhálà fún aráàlú àti mú ẹ ò ní difficult because wọ́n mọ́lé àdúgbò àwọn mọ́lé bàbá ẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lé ìyá ẹ̀. You know, that's why this state security, our state policing will be very, very good for our people. Nishikawa Nishoro, right? But the more we keep trying, the more we keep getting better. Adema just àwọn òfin náà tó wá fi ṣe kíni tó fi adé pa because ọlọ́wọ́n yẹn náà ló ń control ẹ̀ ló máa ràn kíní wọn kì í ṣe ọlọ́run ìjọ ọlọ́run gan àtijọ́ mọ́ṣáláṣí ṣe perfect ni perfect but if we just believe that security is key to our sustenance, to our economic growth, and to our betterment, and to our protection as a people, definitely we all support it. And all about Ashele Yoruba kò ní parun. Agbára Olódùmarè kò ní parun. Ẹ ṣé Omiwa, thank you very much. Alabi, you keep coming up, you keep dropping. We have just 3 more minutes to go. If you want to make another attempt, and if you're not making another attempt, I greet everybody tonight on the space and all over our social media platforms. You are watching and listening to us. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín pé ìdarapọ̀ wá ní àṣálẹ́. Mo rí ọkùnrin mi báyìí sí ọkùnrin Amúra, mo kí yín ẹ káàbọ̀. Ẹ̀yin obìnrin wa, mo kí gbogbo yín. Alabi is coming back. Kí sáré pé kó lè ti sọ̀rọ̀ kíákíá. Alabi, 2 minutes máa fún yàn. Má jẹ́ kó pọ̀ ju 2 minutes o kíákíá.
Ṣé ká sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn?
Wọn ò ní kó má sọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. Nẹ́tíwọ̀kì ló ń jẹ́ abọ́. Kalẹ̀.
Èmi kò fẹ́ sọ.
ẹ ǹlẹ́ o ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta o ọlọ́fàmọ́jọ.
Alabi ò tiẹ̀ kì í ṣe kò kí ààrẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ lọ. Nẹ́tíwọ̀kì ni kò fẹ́ jábọ̀ again.
So nǹkan tèmi mọ̀ ni pé insecurity tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà right ó máa ọjọ́ ẹ̀sìn yẹn kò ní pẹ́ dé àsìkò díẹ̀ kọ́ ló kù gbogbo political gerrymandering tí gbogbo àná ṣe gbogbo àná mọ problem ẹ̀ bọ̀ ọlá pé àwa náà fẹ́ lo temporary fix náà ni à ń ṣe political route. Also I just feel like èmi mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí báwọn èèyàn ṣe ń pariwo revolution because I am not sure a lot of people and I think maybe Alex should even give an highlight on it. I'm not sure a lot of people, particularly ignorant youth, I'm not sure they understand the consequences of if a revolution happens in Nigeria. The reality is that if a revolution happens in Nigeria with the state of insecurity and the large population of jobless and ignorant youth. Chaos and war is inevitable because if a revolution happens now, thank God that a lot of people are now more conscious and aware, particularly in Southwest, that anything that has to do with protest or the geographical expression of people, like their outbursts, like we protest àbí nǹkan bí revolution tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀, ó máa di nǹkan míì. So I think people should be very careful. If tó bá tẹ̀ fẹ́ kó yá, wọ́n lè tètè bẹ̀rẹ̀ revolution yẹn because àwọn irú èmi yìí tẹ́lẹ̀ náà nǹkan táwa náà dúró dè náà yẹn bọ̀ àgbàdúrà fún tó bá máa wá kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ wa. So protest revolution is not something that will be genuine because Nigeria in its entirety do not have a shared interest. For you to have a revolution, the people involved must have a shared interest. But in a country polarized like Nigeria, the interest will change, maybe religious, it will change to tribal or religious. So it will be very easy for the chaos to erupt. And the insecurity, it continues to fracture. I was watching a video today in Kwara State. A whole town has been deserted. Same thing in Nasarawa. In fact, I think they killed some people in Nasarawa recently. Àwọn èèyàn gbogbo nǹkan tí àwọn Ajayi crowd are experiencing by what he wrote in his memoir and every those of his historical account pé àwọn èèyàn sáré kiri ìyá ń gbé àwọn ọmọ sẹ́yìn wọ́n ń gbé wọn rìn wọ́n ń gbẹ́rù sórí the same classical thing. And I think people should be comfortable calling out Fulani because they have not changed. You cannot build a society with people that have an exploitative and dominance mentality. You can't. It doesn't work that way. So people should be very careful. If you want revolution, so that but people from Southwest and other Yoruba land, they should be aware that the insecurity, irrespective of who is in governance, it will lead to something that we might not like. And so that's just Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. We get.
Eshegoni. That will bring us to, you see, as we conclude our tonight's conversation, one message stands out very, very clear and loud. Security and shared prosperity must move together, or neither will be sustained. A region cannot grow where people feel unsafe, and security structures cannot succeed without economic inclusion and public trust. There's something I always say that a man that's not comfortable cannot serve God well. But don't sacrifice quarrels, don't sacrifice. Can they say they want to have 5 prayers in a day?
Baba Bakari.
Huh?
And money or kan to man sọ̀rọ̀ kan. Only the living can shout praise the Lord.
Only the living can shout praise the Lord. Kì í ṣe living nìkan ẹ tí ó wà ní ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ kan tó ń gbọ́ tàtàtàtàtàtà kò lè praise the Lord kankan ẹ má jẹ́ àtọ̀rọ̀ wa kò lè praise the Lord kankan. When you don't have peace of mind, you cannot serve God well. Not even serve God ordinarily. You will never remember God. Because nígbà tí mo rí tẹ́nìkan drive mọ́tò tó ní kàn wọ ọ̀kan láti Nasarawa tó lè fi ẹsẹ̀ rìn. This guy drove for more than 5 minutes. Mọ́tò will drive 5 good minutes and we didn't sat left and right.
The danger, unfortunately, we have to close in the next 2 minutes.
It's so terrible.
The danger, I think this topic needs to be talked about, and we need to focus on insecurity. And we need to systematically break the insecurity problem down. I think for the next 2-3 weeks, this is what we have to do. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Do you know that gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n displaced out of their indigenous ancestral homeland in Benue, in Plateau, in Adamawa for the past 10-15 years?
Benny.
Do you now know what is happening? Our politicians are now going to those places to go and be taking polling booth lobby. In fact, many of the displaced places, IDP camps, OTD, Ilu, they're now building houses there. My brother, Mr. No, Atidaron. Mr. Labi said something. He said, what happened during the time of Ajayi Crowther to cause in memoir is happening. It's the truth.
Of course.
Many of the books, many of the ìlú lónìí tá à ń pè ní ìlú are people that fled Fulani Islamic jihadism. Ẹ jẹ́ ká la ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. Islamic jihadism ló sọ àwọn baba ńlá wa di èrò Ìjàyè àti Ìbàdàn. A lot of our people òun ló create Mọdákẹ́kẹ́, òun ló dá stability ilẹ̀ Yorùbá rú, òun ló dá many Yorùbá cities di òní wọ́n wipe out. The capital of the Oyo Empire that existed for close to 600-700 years. Imagine kẹ́ ní odidi capital of an empire. Ó ti di national park lónìí o. Táwọn ẹranko ń gbé. It was this same àwọn jihadists náà ni wọ́n túká tí wọ́n bàjẹ́ tí wọ́n sọ náà sí.
In connivance with the bad little small
Bad small bad. Ṣẹ́rí, ẹ jẹ́ kí n wá tí ò tọrọ fún yín. There is nowhere you are not going to have internal collaborators.
Yes, of course.
At the height of Nazi Germany, ideology Nazi náà wọ́n try láti gbé wọ England. There were collaborators in England.
Yeah.
There were collaborators in France. There were collaborators in Eastern Europe. Ẹ̀yin lẹ ẹ̀yin jẹ́ káwọn collaborators ẹ̀yin jẹ́ wọ́n rí mú mi. Wọ́n á sọ yín lẹ́nu, wọ́n á blackmail yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ. Islamophobia, you don't give a damn about that. Torí ẹ̀yin ní jẹ́ kán kó orí burúkú tiwọn kán kó wọlé. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n dárúkọ Ìbàdàn, Ìjàyè, Mọdákẹ́kẹ́, Ọ̀dìòmù, Ọ̀yọ́ Àgọ̀, almost 10 major cities nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lónìí. Even Abẹ́òkúta lónìí, Abẹ́òkúta, Ìbàrà, gbogbo àwọn ìlú yẹn pátá. It was because Kétu ní tó wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, it was because of these jihadist wars. Òun ló tú àwọn èèyàn wa ká tó fọ́n wọn ká. Tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìlú yìí fi ṣe. So what you see ní Middle Belt, many of the Middle Belt, torí ẹ̀ ní many people ń bú àwọn Igbos. Ìbàdàn káwọn IDP camps wá sí Imo State táwọn Igbo lọ jó bẹ́ẹ̀ ná. Àwọn Igbos, I'm sorry, omi justify ìwà burúkú tán wò. Ṣé àpò Igbos, they are very protective of their small land mass. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé àwọn IDP camps tẹ kó wá yẹn, they are not going no. They will stay in your land and they will create a city and they build a town and an identity. In the next 100 years, wọ́n máa sọ pé thief people, Hausa people are also part of Imo State. Nígbà tó dẹ̀ ti wọ bí 200,000 ẹ̀ lè wọ́n lọ. Báwo ni ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ṣe di èrò Ghana? Ṣé àgbẹ̀ mò ń sọ ìtàn kan? Báwo ni Yorùbá ṣe di èrò Ghana? We have almost 1 million Yorùbás in Ghana.
Yeah.
And they are Ghanaians. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ fún yín. It was part of the refugees of the Oyo Empire. Tán sá kúrò nílọrin, àwọn ni wọ́n lọ bẹ̀ Brimas. Balogun Ibrahim, he was with almost 10 to 100,000 refugees, Oyo migrants. Àwọn ni wọ́n kó àwọn lọ sí Accra. So I want to create another kingdom. So what you see, the displacement, the demographic changes, people don't know what is going to happen. Nigeria will keep in check. Because see, the day Nigeria is overwhelmed. Àwọn indigenous people tẹ́ gbálẹ̀ wọn tẹ́ káwọn ẹlòmíì síbẹ̀ tẹ́ displace wọn. Yóò dogun. Àwọn tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n á ní fún ní káwọn padà sẹ́nu kú. Nigeria is not solving problem. Nigeria is not solving any problem, insecurity problem. Nigeria is putting bandage. Nigeria is putting bandage on cancer. Because we don't want to offend some principalities and powers. Meanwhile, but America wá dá sí. Ṣé ara àwọn Bashir Ahmed, àwọn very useless, terrible, they don't criticize the terrorists. The next thing is, àwọn tó ń fẹjọ́ wọn tó ń expose from America, only one criticize. That's so, but there is something wrong. There is something fundamentally, insidiously wrong. Dead weight in that part of the country and the rest of us. And we are going to, that's why Kolisi Southern Nigeria, South gan ti gbọ́n, kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ bá Igbo wà ní country, oníkàlùkù ń sá lọ fẹ́mi ẹ̀ ni. Àwọn tó ń jẹ́ Igbo names gan tó wà ní Anioma, wọn láwọn ò sí ní àwọn ò fẹ́ bá South East lọ, because everybody knows. It says you want to fall into trouble. Sure, so we have to be very, very careful. And we are going to talk about insecurity. Then mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ kí n tó jẹ́ kí n tó mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ all TY members around the world. Ẹ̀yin t'Ògùn ni, ẹ̀yin tèmi ní Ogun State, ẹ̀yin tèmi ní Kogi State, ní Kwara, ní Ọ̀yọ́, ní Lagos, ní Benin Republic, ní United Kingdom, ní America, ní Canada. I want South Africa. Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú gbogbo yín. Gbogbo Yorùbá people that are listening, Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú yín. Mo dúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ yín o. Olórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní bàjẹ́ o. Mo dúpẹ́ pé ẹ ní ìgbàgbọ́ in the message God has given us. Mo dúpẹ́ pé ẹ ní faith in the message God has given us. A dẹ̀ mọ̀ ìgbàgbọ́ pé ìgbàgbọ́ tẹ́ nínú wa àní ṣìlò. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o. And how are we preparing for our global conference? It's in June 6. The flyers, the jingles will be out. For now, all the resources of TYF, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ reach out fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ kan àbí omi. Kò ń ṣe pé àfẹ́ help. Apá kún wa ni, ẹ kúkú mọ̀ pé owó onírú owó oníyọ̀ náà la fi ràn TYF. Gbogbo resources wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ń sìn is going to be pushed towards the conference. It's the 4th edition of the global conference. If you want to sponsor us, if you want to help us, if you want to encourage us, we need your help. Abẹ̀yìn ní orúkọ Olódùmarè, please. And there's also we now have an online radio that runs 24/7. There's Luminary Radio on TYF. You go to TYF Park, TYF Park. Tebati Google, MRB menu, can search MRB Luminary Radio. You can listen, you're going to see more music, you're going to see past lectures. 24/7, long run. Kusibiteli wa. Tebawa board, if I go music ni. Lord Lansing ye, and the Christians is going to be church. They now announce where if you are an Islamic preacher, Yoruba Islamic preacher, Tefeshe Dawa, Tefeshe Islamic messages on Fridays. We need more. And now Tebaje Soro, Tefeje Kefema programs in Sibe during the weekdays. So it's a free slot. So we have Luminary Radio. Mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ TYF that made it possible. Ilẹ̀ yín ò ní nǹkan yín ò ní bàjẹ́. Mi ìfẹ́ mi lè dárúkọ yín ẹ mọ́ra yín o. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín gidigidi gan. Then TYF Park, our SON, Savior of Nigeria, for Tinubu 2027. I think you there wherever. And tábà ti parí conference wa lálẹ́ go full blown. Because we are really overwhelmed. We are really overwhelmed. And if you really want to join us, you can go and register on thinkyorubafirst.org. Guys, send the message now see our main handle. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní bàjẹ́ o. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ pé ní faith nínú TYF. Tẹ́ gbà wá gbọ́. Tẹ́ mọ̀ wọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ẹ gbà wá gbọ́ ẹ dúró bí ológun pé this institution will not break. Tẹ́ gbàdúrà fún wa. Tí ẹ̀gbọ́n tí àwọn èèyàn táwọn tó ń sọ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o, because tí ò bá sí ẹ̀yin kò sí àwa. We thank Almighty God, we thank you pé àdìgbàládùúrà pé nǹkan tí náà ní bàjẹ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ̀yin Christians ẹ rọra jẹ chicken ẹgbẹ́ má gbàgbé wa náà ẹ fi turkey àti chicken ránṣẹ́ sáwa náà o, ẹ má gbàgbé wa o, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní bàjẹ́ o, ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ o, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ẹ lọ sí
àkókò tí ń lọ o.
Okay, ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Kí wọ́n kọ́ àdírẹ́sì wọn ní sọ̀rọ̀ tán.
I've noticed a lot of youth talking about revolution. I think we just need to highlight it.
Mo ti ṣiṣẹ́ lecture. It's one of my past lectures in 2024. Mo fi ṣe lecture fún bí 1-2 months. Revolution.
Ó yẹ kó padà sórí lecture in next week in like 1 week. Kó fi ṣe lecture fún yàrá.
Revolution or reformation. Alison next week. Alison next week.
bó ti
Alison
di
next week.
12 lóru nàìjíríà ń sìn torí àwọn tó fẹ́ lọ
Ẹ
sùn
ṣé,
ni
ẹ ṣé. Ó
11
dàbọ̀.
báyìí sí
Ẹ
nàìjíríà.
ṣé, ẹ ṣé, ẹ ṣé,
Ẹ ṣé gan ni, ẹ má bínú jọ̀ọ́, ẹ má bínú, ẹ jọ̀ọ́.
ẹ ṣé.
As we bring tonight's conversation to a close, it's important to draw one lesson that speaks directly to us in Yoruba land. Security is not only about external threats, it's also about internal unity. The Yoruba people have for generations built a society where different religions, Islam, Christianity, and traditional belief systems coexist, interact, and even thrive within the same families and communities. It is not a weakness, it is our strength. That's why you can have a husband in Yoruba being a Muslim and the wife is a Christian. That's why you can have a wife who's a Christian or a Muslim and the husband being a Christian. Both of them will support each other when it comes to every religious celebrations that they have in their family. But in times like this, we must be vigilant. We must not allow religion in any form to be used as a tool for division, manipulation, or instability. Because once our unity is weakened, insecurity finds space to grow. No ideology, no influence, and no agenda should be allowed to come between us as a people. Our diversity must remain a source of balance, not of a conflict. Our identity must remain stronger than our differences. Because ultimately, the strength of Yoruba land has never been in uniformity. It has always been in our ability to live, to build, and to progress together despite our differences. If we protect that unity, we protect our future. And as I close tonight, I say thank you for joining us on the Yoruba Ronu War stage. And we thank Are for coming to lead us tonight in this our space. And we thank everybody who has a contributed in one way or the other and asked questions. We say good night to you all. We love you all. Thank you very much. Till next week.